Hello, I'm MiniGames, and welcome back to the video. Today we're going through and showing you 5 Minecraft PC minigames that I think will be coming to the console at some point in the near future. The reason I think this is because the first console minigame, Battle, is of course heavily based on the PC minigame, The Hunger Games, but also because of the fact that they've directly asked for suggestions, and most people know PC minigames from some form or other. So yeah, today I'll be showing you, since we know that that's going to be likely, I'll be showing you the 5 most likely contenders for PC minigames that might be coming to the console. Hopefully you all do enjoy this video. If you do, like it and let me know because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you do like the minigame videos and stuff like that. Again, the next minigame is coming to console in the next couple months, so yeah, here are 5 of the most likely contenders for the next and etc. minigames. Again, they're not necessarily confirmed, but they are the ones that seem most likely based on the information we have available. With that said, let's start with the first of the 5 minigames, which is of course SkyWars. It was literally on screen as I said that, and yeah, the reason I think SkyWars is so likely is not just because I think it's a cool minigame, and there's a lot of reasons for that. If you haven't heard of SkyWars, that somehow, basically it is kind of like Battle in some ways, except instead of instead of being on a, instead of having the kind of thing pre-built, it is floating islands in the sky. It's kind of like Battle, but everyone has their own islands. So yeah, it's got kind of a building aspect to Battle, which is kind of interesting, and that could be a really cool thing alone. But the reason I think it's likely is not because of this, it's because of the fact that it's the most requested one. The reason they picked up Battle is because people have been asking for years, when can we play Hunger Games on console? So they just did it. They built a whole minigame system around it to make it happen, which makes me think that maybe, wait, let's just knock this guy, so close. Which makes me think that maybe, there's a chance that they'll do the same thing again and just pick the second most popular. Again, we'll have to wait and see whether that does pan out. Can I just do this jump? It seems a bit risky if you ask me. Yeah, there's a chance that they'll just pick the second one, but I think there's some argument against it because even though the song's definitely taken out already. Even though it is a really cool minigame, it's got a lot of people asking for it. I think a second PvP minigame would be ill-advised. So yeah, SkyWars is incredibly likely just based on the pure popular demand of the number of people who've asked for it. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be the next one. It's going to be one after that. I think designing the maps for it is relatively easy because it's just floating terrain. You can even make amazing maps for it. It has the whole kind of like, oh yeah, they can do their whole DLC stuff if they want to. But then you can add on the fact that it's a really cool minigame that could have the, battle with some building in it, which I think makes it a cool enough idea by itself. So yeah, SkyWars seems very likely. I'm going to deliberately not run into combat because I know I'm going to die. Okay, let's just do this. SkyWars seems very likely as as not the second minigame, but as another one for the future. And let's show you another one that I think is quite likely, which is Block Hunt. So the reason I think Block Hunt or Hide and Seek or whatever you want to call, whatever you want to call the next, whatever you want to call Hide and Seek of some form, the reason I think that is a likely minigame to be coming is because of a few reasons, really. First of all, it's really, really simple to understand. Battle is, just a battle. Hide and Seek is just, oh yeah, everyone's played it as a child, right? Everyone can know the rules really easily, which is something that is, of course, pretty nice by itself. The second reason is because it, based on the way they've been treating Battle, they don't really like the competitive aspect. They want it to be non-competitive. Hide and Seek is like the least competitive game ever. No one can get competitive like, oh, I'm gonna find the most people. No, no one can be like that with Hide and Seek. So maybe that's something they actually do value. Assuming, am I this block, by the way? I'm not entirely sure, but oh, I guess that is me. But yeah, the second reason I think that it's somewhat likely is because of the fact that it's really popularly played by younger people, which again is some portion of the Minecraft console demographic. I know that the CEO, it might be like CTO or something, but one of the heads of Sport Jays, that their kids actually really do like the hide and seek stuff. And when you just add all that stuff together, it's a friendly mini game. Everyone knows the rules. It's somewhat popular as far as like the YouTube and younger stuff goes. You can kind of see the argument for how that could be one of the next mini games. I hope it wouldn't be the next one, but again, based on the fact that they probably don't want to do a PvP based one, that's one of the most common requests, like just not PvP, then you could clearly see how maybe the next minigame will be something really, really, just easy to play and not based in combat, which, hide and seek or block hunt or whatever particular variant of it they do use could be the cool way of doing that. So yeah, that's my logic behind thinking this, and I'm about to lose this one and become a hunter here. Oh no, wait, okay, I'm dead now. And now I'm a hunter. So yeah, that's what I think right there, and that's why I think Block Hunt, Hide and Seek, whatever variant if it would come in, is very, very likely as the next non-PvP minigame. So yeah, if that's my next non-PvP one, what about serious PvP? Well, let's head there now. So I'm currently in a speed UHC lobby right now, and this is literally the opposite of what I was just going through. This couldn't be further from hide and seek in terms of the fact that it is a serious PvP minigame. It's not all just about fun. It's about competitive fighting each other and stuff, and therefore you might say, well, doesn't that mean that it's unlikely if the other minigame is likely for the opposite reasons? Well, my thinking here is that, also, there's only 2 of us left apparently. Oh, I came to the last 2 people while just goofing around and looking around the world. But yeah, the reason I think speed UHC or UHC of some form, some form of competitive mode is likely is because if they want to keep all the other minigames fun, if you want to keep battle as a fun way to do PvP, you need to make the other way, the other minigames as a more serious way to do it, because otherwise, people are just going to go there to do it anyway, and that, that kind of has two counterintuitive objectives. It means people are playing battle and not having fun because it's not as competitive as they like, and it means people who are trying to have fun aren't having as much fun as they'd like. So, yeah, basically the way you can easily, kind of counteract that is to just make it so that also the border's coming in slowly, because that's what happens here. Pretty cool, right? But, yeah, the way you can kind of counteract that pretty easily is to just make it so that, there is a really serious game mode, and UHC is one that's really likely, because right now, there is no hardcore game mode in Minecraft. If they add hardcore, I think this becomes very unlikely, but right now, it kind of, if you want to play UHC with friends, you have to have the trust element of, oh yeah, leave the game or get kicked or something, and that's kind of problematic. It's the same reason that Hunger Games doesn't work too well, the fact that there is the kind of like, oh yeah, you have to kick them and then try and set up each time. That's the really annoying thing that makes you need to have battle, and I think the same thing would be true for UHC, especially with no hardcore game mode. So, assuming they never put a hardcore game mode in, I think UHC would be a really cool second, because it is a really serious way to, show off your skills. You've got battle for casual, and then you have UHC or some form of more serious combat for people who do want to play the game in a more competitive light. That's why I think it's likely. Also, on top of all of that, the reason that it's like, oh yeah, the competitive this is that, is the fact that it's actually it was the second most requested minigame at the time of me checking, just after it came out, which is something that I think is really interesting in its own little way. So yeah, very requested minigame. I don't ask what I'm doing here. I don't know, like some person's actually doing something while I'm just running around showing you what the world looks like. As you can see, it's a world which is always shrinking. It's a world where, you cannot regenerate your health. It's a world where you've got to fight to the death with very limited resources, and I think it would be great fun to add on the console. I think really it depends on the direction they want to push minigames in, but I think it has its own, place in the game, and I hope that it does come at some point. But maybe that's just hoping more than reality. If that's what you think, then we'll move on to the next one, which might be the opposite thinking. So Death Run is a minigame which I think definitely doesn't have the same level of popular support as the other three minigames. Again, SkyWars is the most requested, UHC is the second most, and Hide and Seek is definitely one that gets requested by, even though different audience people, quite a bit. So, they've all got lists and requests. Even though Death Run is suggested some amount of the time, it's definitely not quite as popular as the other ones, but it is a minigame which could really add a more kind of fun, less serious thing. So again, based on what we know so far, just kind of fun, unserious, making some funny moments stuff is what they kind of do like in a minigame, and Death Run does provide that quite a lot in a more parkour sense. So if they wanted to make sure every minigame had a different theme, then this is one of the best ways to do a parkour theme minigame, because again, it's a minigame everyone understands. It exists in a lot of different games. There's Counter-Strike, Death Run, there's Death Run from this, there's lots of games have Death Run, is the point I'm trying to raise right here. And I meant to go on the green blocks only. Don't even, okay. But yeah, lots of games have Death Run, so everyone understands the core concept of, okay, there's people who are running and trying to, actually, like, do the stuff. There are people that are trying to, hit them, and it's basically about trying to make it to the end. So yeah, it's parkour with the death element, which I think is pretty cool. It's different every single game you play, which is, of course, really handy for a minigame where they have to design the maps, and as well as just being different, and as well as just being, okay, we've got a checkpoint here. As well as being different each time you play it, and as well as being easy to understand, it's also just one that really could kind of push the game in a more fun, make it more shareable, etc. way. And again, because if you've seen most of the more popular PC minigames, like Death Run, like Trouble in Mineville, is that the Minecraft version? Yeah, like Trouble in Terrace Town stuff. All these sorts of minigames are very, very popular ones that would kind of help the game out a little bit in some way. So again, it depends on really what their priorities are. If they want to have something parkour based, if they want to have all the different types, if they want it to be a more popular minigame for the videos and stuff, which we never know how much of a calculation that is, but for some developers it always is a big one, then yeah, I think having Death Run or something like that would be very popular, because again, I played Death Run in videos before, I believe, and it is a really, really crazy kind of hectic thing when one of you is trying to, destroy the other person. The only downside I could see is that with 8 people, 1v7 isn't the most entertaining thing. 1v like 2 or 3 if you've only got 4 people might not be the best thing, but I think Death Run might be a fun one to add to like a suite of minigames. If they were going to do, like let's say, again, like the next 5 minigames, you could see this being like the 4th one, if they wanted each minigame to be niche and be fun in its own little way. So yeah, that's why I think Death Run is some amount of likely. Oh no, okay, I made a mistake there. I knew he was going to press the button, but I thought I'd call his bluff, and that, what just happened there? Is that, did I fall into something? Oh, I guess the water is probably poisonous or something. Okay, but yeah, basically, also I've got 9 life shit, how appropriate. Okay, so the game's about to finish here. Yeah, I think Death Run is a really, really cool parkour-based minigame. I like the parkour stuff personally, so that's my kind of thing. I've had a lot of fun playing this, and I think it also makes for fun videos, and I just came 5th. So yeah, as you can see, that was a game of Death Run. I think it's great fun. I think it's short. I think it's yeah, again, short, fun, unique in some ways, great for videos, great for just fun moments by yourself anyway, and I think it'd be somewhat likely, maybe slightly less likely than the other ones, but still really cool in that particular way. So yeah, that said, let's move into the final likely mini game that I think will be coming, and that involves switching server again, actually. So the next minigame that I think is somewhat likely to be coming to the console is Capture the Flag. So why do I think this is a likely one, besides just that I guess it's kind of recognizable? Like, it's a very common, game mode in other games, so why would it come to Minecraft? Because that almost works as like a counterintuitive thing of like, oh, so they're just going to take a really common game mode, are they? I think that was a weird connection thing, wasn't it? But yeah, basically the reason I think Capture the Flag is somewhat likely is because, first of all, it's a really old school Minecraft idea, like way back, oh, that's a teammate, but yeah, way back when Minecraft was like in its earliest stages, like 2009, not suggested that as well as, survival and creative mode, there'd be a fortress mode, and there'd be a capture the flag mode. Of course, capture the flag has never properly come, but still, it's something Notch wanted in the very early days, and then when Minecraft came out for console 2 years later, he suggested that, oh yeah, maybe that could be like a console exclusive game mode, and if they did eventually make it as a console exclusive game mode, that would be pretty darn cool. So, no servers do capture the flag in a way that you might think is intuitive. This is Mineplex's one, which is like a really, really hardcore, serious competitive one, but it doesn't even need to be this way. It can be just like, kind of like Battle, but with a flag to kind of collect. I just like the idea of having an objective-based game mode and having one that people can understand from other games to kind of, be as an introduction to Minecraft. Like, you want to take, PvP seriously? Guess what? You can kind of do that in this way. So, yeah, that's why I think that Capture the Flag would be really cool, because you can make these really epic, 4v4 team games. I think, the fact that it's, an idea they said they wanted to do 5 years ago, it's almost 5 years ago now, and the fact that it was like Notch's original idea 7 years ago now, I think that makes me want it just for like completeness reasons. Like, wouldn't it be cool if they finally did it after all this time? But even if we just assume like, oh yeah, how cool of a minigame would it be when it's so merits, I think that Capture the Flag is one of the cooler ideas. Okay, this guy doesn't see me. Okay, let's do this. I think Capture the Flag would be one of the cooler ideas, just because it isn't, it's easy to understand, it's really, really cool, and it can be done in a lot of different ways. Oh, he was right behind me. I thought I was running away, but I guess he was doing something there. But yeah, Capture the Flag, lots of cool ways to do it. There's so many directions they can take it, and I think, again, a part of me just wants it for completeness reasons, and if that's not enough reason to want a minigame, I don't know what is. Either way, I hope you did all enjoy today's minigame video. If you did all like it, like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like the, again, these sorts of videos where I talk about what I think will be coming or not. Again, I'd like to clarify, these are all suggestions. I always like to be clear that these are all just based on things that, based on the suggestions, based on this and based on that, and if you believe, I think they're very likely as that result. But again, just, I like to be very clear that that's what that is, and now you know. So, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy today's video, because I will see you on the next one. I'm looking forward to the next minigame, whatever it is. If it's hide and seek, I probably won't be playing it too much, but if it's anything with any amount of like depth to it, I'm looking forward to trying to master it and teaching you maybe some of the same too. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching this video, because I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.